Despite sitting in the relegation zone, Tivoli Gardens could only afford 1 point after a goalless draw with Portmore United, who now have 15 points after 9 games. Waterhouse were ruthless as they powered home an emphatic 4-0 victory over Harbourview, who haven't won a game since Matchweek 4. A brace and a consecutive man of the match performance from Colin Anderson snatched 3 points for Cavalier after coming from behind against Humble Lion. After a goal fest in the final game on Monday night's doubleheader, Arnett Gardens roared loudest in the jungle, defeating table leaders Mount Pleasant 3-2. Welcome to JPL in 30, the highlight show for the Jamaica Premier League with the latest from Matchweek 9. The match between Tivoli Gardens and Portmore United was evenly contested. There was plenty of end-to-end action at the Stadium East Field. After a plethora of missed chances and good defending in the steamy conditions, neither of the teams were able to untie the deadlock. These are the highlights. George Davis and LeJay Williams were in the commentary box.
The Tivoli starting lineup: Nathaniel Francis in goal, Odin Pennycook, Keno Simpson, Christopher Matthews, Kevin Pilgrim, Kevin Garnett, Trevon McCain, Justin Dunn, Nakil Wright, Janeel Ray, and Anthony Nelson. Bernardo Constant, the Haitian, in goal for Portmore United. Rodolphe Austin, the veteran, ex-Reggae Boys captain. Stephen Young, Emilio Rousseau, Gawain Austin, Seagull Knight, Alvinus Myers, the St. Lucian, Rohan Beadle, ex of Waterhouse, Shaquan Satchwell for Sean Thompson, and Tevin Scott for Philip Williams and Philip Williams' system. So the game began. Very hot conditions here at the Stadium East Field. This was Thompson trying to play Emilio Rousseau, got up from the challenge, but he was unbalanced and could only sky the shot. Janeel Ray doing very well to throw Emilio Rousseau off. Then Austin from this free kick, couldn't find the target. Nakil Wright got some power behind the shot, but drifted wide of the frame. And then this, Justin Dunn, almost the own goal. And how Tivoli dodged this, nobody will know. So Tivoli very lucky in the first half that they didn't concede from this action, and then very lucky not to concede at the death. Long throw from Rousseau. Austin is going to volley this one, but he's under pressure. Just saw Nakil Wright approaching in his eye line and snatched at the effort. The replay shows that he had a little more time than he knew. Another long throw from Rousseau. Satchwell tame in the end. And this situation, Austin, that looked to have been destined for the goal, but for Kevin Garnett's block, Austin may well have found the back of the net. And here's Gawain Austin, the nephew of Rodolphe, and here's Saint-Jean, the second half substitute, the Haitian, into the path of Satchwell. Good shot, this one, had it on target. Good strong hand from Nathaniel Francis to beat it away, preserve the clean sheet. Then Horatio Morgan with the cross of the game. Look at this cross into the space for Jones, the second half substitute. But Stephen Young, there's an action right, just a little bump of the hips. The slow motion replay showed you just a little hip check at the vital point, and that knocked Jones off balance. That's why he didn't score. Then right here, look at this, Gawain Austin closing down the ball, but his teammate tackling him. Satchwell, who didn't know that Austin was arriving at speed. And that's how Tivoli dodged all bullets.
Okay, you are the captain for today. How big of a performance do you think this was from you individually?
I think it was a decent performance. You know, coming in as a captain for the first time, wanted to hold it because we haven't been getting any points since lately. So wanted to hold this one and make sure we secure a point or even a win.
Coach, it wasn't a win, but I assume that it was a more positive performance.
Yeah, it's a great start for us to get this draw, but we still have to go on the drawing board and get the result that we want.
The result that you want is a win. I know that, but in a game like this against Portmore United, you had the chances. Do you think that your strikers could have been a little bit more clinical?
Yeah, we have chances and they have chances as well, but it's just the right outcome for us to start the result this way. So, as I said, we have to go back on the drawing board and try to get it right.
Coach, I assume you'll be a little bit disappointed with this result?
Definitely. I mean, the way we came out here right throughout the entire 90 minutes, I think we were flat and, I mean, second to most of the balls to Tivoli Gardens today. So, yeah, in terms of our gameplay, very disappointed.
Do you think that there are positives, however, because you kept yet another clean sheet, maintaining that you're still the best defense in the division?
I mean, yes, but I mean, the focus all week has been on our goal scoring effort, and I think today we were let down by the effort put out there by our attacking players.
Waterhouse with a clinical team in the second game of Sunday's doubleheader at the Stadium East Field, having 4 different goal scorers getting by defending champions Harbourview. The Stars of the East created several chances of their own, but were wasteful in front of goal. George Davis and Ajay Williams were the commentators.
So I'm hoping that we'll see a turn as we see the Harbourview starting lineup.
Anthony Bennett, Ryan Wellington, O'Shane Staple, Orderland Harding, Joshua Anglin, Jamon Shepherd, Romain Brackenridge, Nicholas Hamilton, Colorado Murray, Trey Bennett, and Timar Lewis for Coach Ludlow Bernard. Timar Lewis, the 5-goal man. Colorado Murray has flourished at Harbourview. That's the Waterhouse selection. This is their team. Kamara Foster, Ramon Hubble, Devroy Gray, the Loxley Reed, son of Loxley Reed, former national goalkeeper, Denardo Thomas, Kenroy Howell, Zane Hilton, Romain Blake, Shaquille Bradford, Malik Cockings, and Shamar Booth, the 6 for Marcel Gale. Anglin, first shot in anger, that free kick, just high. Thomas walking around O'Shane Staple, and Devroy Gray couldn't connect with the flying header. Waterhouse bearing their fangs very early. And then this, Booth to Howell, Kenroy Howell, bang, Ramon Howell, the brother and captain, finding the net here from Booth's pass. And that's how Waterhouse went in front. Not closed down, found himself in a pocket of space and decided to try his luck. The flicked header from Colorado Murray at the near post. Nicholas Hamilton missed the ball. Bad miss. And then Booth to Devroy Gray. And now Kenroy Howell bursting into the box and just knocks it beyond the advance of goalkeeper Anthony Bennett. Slick football from Waterhouse. This looked good. Real time. Looks even better in slow motion. 2-0. Harbourview did get their chances. This was one of them. Wouldn't have counted because Nicholas Hamilton was whistled for the foul on Malik Cockings. Foster wasn't to know that, so he was scrambling. And then Timar Lewis sets Nicholas Hamilton free, and he'll produce a glorious cross, begging to be turned home. Colorado Murray couldn't. Went for the glancing header, which was the right thing to go for, but somehow got his body position, neck position all wrong. Route 1 stuff from Harbourview. Staple, the header back to Nicholas Hamilton. Hamilton, the pass to Timar Lewis, and he produces an ugly finish. And then a long ball out of defense. And look at Orderland Harding being closed down by Devroy Gray, who's hungrier. He wants it more, Devroy Gray, and he takes it. That was 3-0. Poor old Orderland Harding. Roughed up by Devroy Gray, who nipped in front of him and beat goalkeeper Bennett. Then this, look at Howell. A delicious ball slid through to Shaquille Bradford. Orderland Harding can't get back. And Bradford says, you know what? I'm going to go high with the finish. Beating Anthony Bennett. And Shaquille Bradford was outstanding tonight. And he got the goal he deserved. And then once more, this should have been 5. Zane Hilton to Kenroy Howell, trying to be too cute with the finish. And that's why he missed. Bradford to Denardo Thomas. Will set this one back. Devroy Gray went for the shot. It was more a cross shot, and Loxley Reed diving in at the back post couldn't make a connection. And Gray can't believe that one was missed. Glorious pass by Talbot. Nicholas Hamilton, it needed better from a player who can produce better, but not tonight. Then this, O'Shane Staple fighting off Zane Hilton. Lovely touch, but just couldn't bend it back towards the goal. And he looks to the heavens and wonder, why me, Lord? Perhaps he said, Jaja. Ja wasn't helping in that moment.
Today's man of the match. Your tone, your hard work today really set the tone of this performance. What do you make of it?
It's been something from the training ground. I tend to work as hard as I can in terms of those balls dropping behind the defender. I always try to pressure him to the end. So it's just a token of my hard work all the while.
Coach, of course, you mentioned that it would be a mental game today. How do you think your team really performed mentally and, of course, physically on the field?
Defensively, I think we were very poor today. I think tactically we got a few things wrong, but there were some good stuff on show here today, which I think probably going forward we could utilize. But I'm not perturbed by this. We have rebounded from worse than this before, so we have to just address the defensive issues that we have and go forward. If you notice in the game, we created quite a number of chances, and probably had we converted our chances before, it would have been a different game. But the Waterhouse team was very good today, and hats off to them.
I'm sure you're just as glad as everyone else for this result. Goals galore. Talk us through the performance.
I mean, I wanted to work on 3 things today in terms of how we play out from the back, our decision in the final third, and how well we control the opponent, which was our view. I think in all accounts we did well in all 3 areas, and so we scored 4 goals.
You mentioned you wanted to adjust certain things, especially playing out from the back. Do you think the introduction of Romain Blake coming into the team helped that a lot?
Yeah, exceptionally well. Now, what Romain Blake has been doing, with his quality, we're able to do that. And so we improve on that. But we wanted to execute today, which we saw that today. But we tried a few things. Very good team. So it shows our quality today. They have quality, but I mean, 4 love today is very good for us.
We take our first break. JPL in 30. We'll be right back. Welcome back to JPL in 30. Matchweek 9 continued on Monday with another doubleheader. The first match saw Cavalier taking home all 3 points after defeating Humble Lion 2-1 at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Andrew Vanzie's 3rd goal of the season was not enough to secure victory, as Cavaliers' Colin Anderson's 7th and 8th goals of the season secured victory for the Young Guns. These are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Chris Taylor were on commentary.
As we take a look at the starting lineup for Humble Lion, Prince Daniel Smith in goal. A back 4 of Rico Edwards, Afiba Chambers, Tivoli, Cold Spring and Xavier Virgo. In the middle of the park, Andrew Vanzi, Shamari Dallas and Raylan Paisley. Up front, Andre Clennon. Roshane Sharp, the striker. Lorenzo Lewin over on the right-hand side. Cavalier will have 3 at the back. Bina Bartlett is between the sticks. Giovanni Leng, Richard King and Kyle Ming in front of him. In the middle of the park, Christopher Ainsworth on the left, Ronaldo Webster on the right. In the middle, Gadale Irving, Dwayne Allen, and Dwayne Atkinson up top, Orlando Russell and Colin Anderson. As we take a look at some of the highlights in this one. And Virgo was always busy out wide, providing service to Clennon, who was a handful in the early stages of this one. And the Cavalier defenders were really tested. Sharp was bullied by Bina Bartlett, and the penalty was awarded. And Vanzi converted from 12 yards in the 21st minute, scoring his 3rd goal this season. The Humble Lion skipper. Humble Lion, they were pretty comfortable in the first half. That play out wide to Webster. And a wonderful save by Prince Daniel Smith. Although he didn't know a lot about it. And then in the second half, Cavalier really matured. This effort, another fabulous save, but then put across the line by Colin Anderson. Came out to Russell, Prince Daniel Smith with the save, Rika Edwards could only find Colin Anderson. And the man who was coming off a hat-trick in the last game against Tivoli Gardens made no mistake from 4 yards out. It was a good goal. A real poacher, this one. But the second goal was probably even better. Atkinson doing some good work, and then the diving header on the touchline. Made sure that he had to make the connection and placed it well. Could have been awkward for him, but he's in the form of his life. That was his second goal of the night. Humberline had a few opportunities, but they weren't accurate. That's the sub, Kishan Smalling, who couldn't turn it goalwards.
Colin, congratulations on another brace for you. They have to start calling you Mr. Monday Night. A hat-trick last week and now a brace today. Talk to me about your confidence right now and your performance.
Well, firstly, I want to say good night. My second man of the match, wow. I'm grateful. I have to continue to work. Wow. This match, I really feel motivated to just go and go and go. And I feel ready to take on this Premier League season. And I will continue to push forward until I reach the goal.
Just before your second goal, you got an opportunity, a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. A bad touch, it went out of play and you had a wry smile on your face. What were you thinking right at that moment when the chance disappeared?
Well, from there, I get the confidence that I'm going to score. So that missed chance that I get and missed, wow. It was a chance to score, but I come again and I score. So that is the best thing.
Andrew, at one stage, you were looking like you were heading to second in the table with a 1-0 lead, but then it fell away as the second half progressed.
Yes, I think it was a tale of two halves. I think we dominated for long periods in the first half, and we made a should have had increase our lead. We came out very flat in the second half, and when we came out flat, we allowed Cavaliers to basically dictate the pace, and we conceded 2 goals because of defensive errors on the back post. You know, one thing I can say, the team fought back, and we got back into the game, and you know, we pressured them in the last 20 minutes of the game. We got some opportunities. I knew that they were going to come with a counter. They have a very fast player in Anderson, and we knew they were going to try and find the transitional plays where they're going to try to play out to them. But it's learnings, and you know, we have to learn from this game and move on. You know, we'll take it on the chin and we'll get ready for the next one.
Well, Rudolph, you've done it again. Better head-to-head, Tivoli Gardens, you beat them last week. Now, Humberland, better head-to-head, you beat them this week, and a strong second half performance for you.
Oh, definitely. It took a time for me to work out what they were trying to do. I kind of noticed it after about 10 minutes still, but the instruction I wasn't able to convey it effectively during the first half, coaching over the top. So once we went inside, we knew exactly what we had to do. We just step up the pace a little bit more. I mean, my players, the oldest one is 23, so they can run more, and I say, listen, you have to run more. So what I did was just keep the game into perspective. I didn't panic. We were down 1, and we were able to come back.
Arnett Gardens never fail to put on a show in the jungle under the lights, their natural habitat for exciting performances. Fabian Reed threw a thunderbolt first half strike, got the party started. Damari Deacon, the popular substitute, started this time around and scored the second goal of the night. Trevante Stewart pulled one back for the St. Anne-based outfit, Mount Pleasant, but Ajuma Johnson would extend Arnett's lead in the 57th minute. Mount Pleasant were relentless as they kept on fighting. They managed to get one on the scoreboard again at the death, but it was too little, too late. These are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Chris Taylor were the commentators.
Arnett Gardens, the home team, of course. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. They'll be working with a 4-3-3 formation. Eric Edwards is between the sticks. Cunningham, Neal, Simpson and Evans, the back 4. In the middle of the park, Purcell, Martin and Johnson. Damari Deacon, Fabian Reed, Kimani Arboine will make up the top 3. Let's take a look at the visitors now. Tafari Chambers will be between the sticks. They also have a back 4, including Campbell, Topi, Dyer, and Sude McCullough. Ladale Ritchie in the middle of the park. Demario Phillips beside him, so too Ricardo Morris. The front 3 of Bailey, Stewart, and Gibbison. 11 goals between them. As we take a look at the highlights in this one. Mount Pleasant started off confidently, but Arnett Gardens got into their own. Little by little, the ball coming inside, and that one was tipped over by Tafari Chambers. Arnie Gardens through Arboin now, cutting inside and then laying off a lovely ball to Fabian Reed, who fired that one home. It was a wonderful hit to get his 4th this season. Fabian Reed. Wonderfully done. A thumping drive. Little Chambers could have done with that. And Arnie Gardens in the ascendancy in the first half. And then it was another opportunity that Mount Pleasant managed to repel. Arnie Gardens really turning on the style here. And they were coming forward in numbers, laid off by Reed to Arboin, and then Damari Deacon touching it across the line. And Arnie Gardens were all over Mount Pleasant at that point. Arboin did well. And Damari Deacon was brave there. Yep, they were in the driver's seat. Arnie Gardens leading by 2-0. In the second half now, that was a delightful ball from Kevin Isaacs, finding Trevante Stewart, his first of the night. Good finish too. Level on the goal scoring chart after that finish. And Mount Pleasant felt they were in the game. And then Reed to Arboin, deflected and in. It was going goalwards. He'll claim it. He'll take it. Arboin. Johnson did really well there to get his 4th this season. Ajuma Johnson. And then that was just reckless from Yoshiki Kelson. Got a straight red for losing his head. And the Gardens were down to 10 players and pretty nervous moments. And then a handle ball there. And Stewart converting. Now back on top of the goal scorers charts, Trevante Stewart with 9 to his name, but that's all Mount Pleasant could have mustered.
Fabian, 62 goals now in your Premier League career. Another top goal today. You've scored many great goals over your career. Where would this one rank?
Boy, this one rank, you know, me I tell you the truth, you know, I think outside of the 18, this is the first time I think I scored from so far outside of the 18, you understand? So this ranking at the top 2 still, you know, or the top 3, you understand? Yeah.
And talk to me about your season so far. Last year you were playing behind the strikers. Now you're back into your role as a main striker. How does it feel and how are you enjoying this position?
Yeah, last year, you know, as we say, we'd have top link, but I can play this as, you understand, because we have natural midfield and natural forward, you understand? So this season, I tell myself, say, I step up the lead, you understand? I have to take up Arnett Garden in because over the years, Arnett Garden depends on Fabian Reed, you understand? So I don't think I finish football as yet, you understand? No matter the age, because age is just a number, you know, you understand? So I have to take up back Arnett Garden. So I tell myself, say, this season, I come out, come put in the work still.
Theodore Tapper Whitmore now joins me. Whitmore, the streak is broken. Disappointing for you and the boys?
Well, yes, it's a bit disappointing, but kudos to the Arnett Garden team. I think they played well this afternoon and they deserve the 3 points.
You brought on substitute Kevin Isaacs in the midway through the game. I actually thought he brought a lot of energy within the midfield, but then you took him off. Was it injury or tactical?
He got a knock, so we had to take him out. But such is the nature of the game. I think we show a lot of commitment in the second half. I think the first half we didn't came out, but I think it was a much better, improved performance. We came from behind twice, but unfortunately we couldn't have sniffed something out the game.
Yeah, Arnett Garden certainly sharp today. Talk to me about the tempo of the play. Do you think at going forward especially, you're a little bit too slow at times?
No, I didn't. As I said before, the first half we didn't came out. Arnett was playing at a pace. I think we allow Arnett this afternoon to do what they wanted to do, and I don't think most of our better players this afternoon turn up for us.
His former club mate at Seba United, Paul Teagat Davis, now joins me. Teagat, a tough match, but we saw some of the glimpses of the Arnett Gardens of old in terms of the attacking flair.
Pretty good game, good attacking game tonight. I think we did what we had to do in terms of closing them down quick. Because you give the team time to play, they will play because they know how to play.
When I saw it's a thin line with Damari Deacon, I saw Eric Rademacher's in your ear saying, boy, maybe we should change. You made a tactical change. How frustrating is it that the player you brought on to replace him then gets a red card?
And then again, sometimes the referee do something sometimes that, I don't think that deserve a red card. Even low on him because you have some tackles very worse than that. But then again, that's behind us, The fact that we got these 3 points, I thought we played well. One of our better games. When you play a team like Mount Pleasant, you have to come with your A game. A team that can move the ball around. So what we did tonight, press them, move the ball around. When we got our chances, we took them.
Would you rank this as the best performance Arnett Gardens has performed this season?
You tell me.
Certainly one of the best. Well, last week when I spoke to you, you said, well, the 5-0, the 5-star performance wasn't good enough for you because even though you scored 5 goals.
Tonight was great. Was great. I think I want a copy of this game to look at and sit down because this was a nice, like you watch an English league or a Liga. Back and forth, tactical, but the goals were the difference tonight.
Results from the non-televised matches saw Vere United and Chapelton Maroons play to a goalless draw. Dunby Holden were 2-0 winners over Montego Bay United, and Falkland drew 2 apiece with Molines United.
But Mount Pleasant, they still remain top of the table, but the gap is closing. Mount Pleasant with just the point advantage over Cavalier, and Gardens have also closed the gap to Mount Pleasant. They are just 3 behind Mount Pleasant, 2 behind Cavalier. And Gardens in 4th spot. Portmore United steady as she goes in 5th place. Humberline rounding out the top 6, the playoff spots. Vere United and Falkland, they have some work to do, especially Falkland. They are at the foot of the table with 2 points.
That's all we have for you this week. This has been JPL in 30 on CVM TV. Tune in next week for Matchweek 10 highlights of the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel.